Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today something tells me you're going to hear the word gunpowder a lot during my Civ introductions, as Heart, playing as the Turks in red, gets ready to take on the Viper, playing as the Italians in yellow. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and get all the turkeys on the map, heading their butts up to Feudal Age. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Turks are a civilization built around their love of, you got it, gunpowder. Their gunpowder units are created faster, have extra HP, come with cheaper technologies, and some of them can be even upgraded to get extra range. Now, staying on brand, their unique unit is the Janissary, a more expensive but on the whole less accurate hand cannoneer that comes with more HP, a better attack, and more armor, but no bonus versus infantry. Now, to support their heavy but expensive units on the field of battle, the Turks can field some pretty decent supporting units. There's that second Turkey I was talking about. To start with, their scout line units come with extra pierce armor. Their cavalry archers can be upgraded to get 20 extra HP, and their scout line units I just mentioned automatically upgrade to light cav and then to hussars once they hit castle, and then imperial, which gives the Turks access to top of the line, very fast, very effective raiding units without having to wait for those upgrades to be researched. Now, in order to afford their gunpowder units, which are pretty darn gold intensive, Turkish gold miners do work 20% faster than normal. They get the chemistry upgrade free of charge, and the free upgrades I mentioned, whereby their scouts become light cav, become hussars, well, that saves them 1,300 resources. Of that, 650 gold. Now, speaking of saving resources, let's take a look at the Italians, what I would call a cost-cutting civilization. Their university technologies are cheaper, advancing to the next age is cheaper, and their gunpowder units are, you got it, cheaper as well. Now, using all of their saved resources, they can field not one, but two unique units. The first is the Genoese crossbowman, a pretty decent foot archer with an attack bonus against cavalry. Might be bad news bears for our Turk if he decides to go that route. The second is the Condottiero, a quick-moving, tanky infantry unit with not only a massive attack bonus against gunpowder units, but also added armor against certain gunpowder units. So maybe double bad news bears here for our Turk. I'm actually pretty darn excited as I'm thinking about this now, discussing the civs, about this civ matchup. Now, to make their units even tankier on the field of battle, all Italian foot archers, except for their skirmishers and their condottieri, can be upgraded to get extra +1/+1 armor. And starting in the Imperial Age, you can automatically train condottieri from your barracks. You don't actually need to research any upgrades, just like the Huns need to research Marauders, or the Goths need to research Anarchy. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to wait for anything to be researched. Automatically, you've got a barracks. And I'm assuming at some point our Italian is going to plop down a barracks once the Viper hits Imperial. If we're lucky enough to see this game go that long, he will be able to train those gunpowder sniping units. I believe the bonus, if I'm not mistaken, against gunpowder units is +10. And then the armor, the special armor that condottieri get against certain gunpowder units. And I believe in that regard, it is only against hand cannoneers. I'm not sure it's against things like bombard cannons, etc., although I probably should know and probably should check. So imagine hand cannoneers from the Turk taking on condottieri. The condottiero will come with a +10 attack bonus and then a -10 armor against the 17 damage of the hand cannoneer, which is a pretty much 20 HP special swing. And so very excited to see this game and how it progresses. In the meantime, speaking of the game, how it progresses, etc., is this really the first time the Viper is going to find his 7th and 8th gobbles? I guess it is. Lucky for him, his opponent has not expanded out the search of the map as we are about to do. Viper, by the way, spawning at the 130 position, incorrectly assumes that his opponent is somewhere here. And so he is going this way. Little does he know that he is playing Age of Empires 2, and that the spawning is pretty darn wonky. The attack path between the two bases is pretty clear. We've got one defensive forest for Heartt and absolutely nothing but an open space here for the Viper, who, realizing that he has gone maybe perhaps a little bit the wrong direction, is now pivoting to the south, stopping, wondering, hey, where should I go? Should I keep investing in exploring the upper left, or should I go to the bottom right? Discovers the barracks and knows that he is in the right direction. Now, the Turkish barracks, probably one of the most useless structures in the game, and which is why Heartt And which is why Heartt is probably using it as a wall-off point to the very far west. Although Heartt has no clue where the Viper is. We'll discover him very, very shortly, though. Both players heading up to the next stage. Remember, the Italians do pay 15% less. And once he hits it, there you go. The line of sight expands. The speed increases. And so scouting now becomes a little bit better. The Viper, primary gold, annoyingly placed on a hill in the forward position. Primary stone off to the side, forming, I guess, part of the wall off based on how he's walled that in already. Extra gold to the rear of his base. And where is the extra gold? Okay, a third patch of gold to the front. And where is your secondary stone? Very far away, all the way off to the left here. Berries also annoyingly placed on hill. Lots and lots of little hills in the Viper's base as he begins walling off that portion of it. He himself, as we saw, he has seen the Turkish base and now explores and discovers the stable. They're seeing all those horses' asses peeking out of there. Spearman will shoot away the scout. Got a little scout on scout action. Let's take a look. HP dropping at the exact same rate. Random number generator about to kick in. Let's see who the lucky winner is. It is our Turk, whose scout takes the, what do we want to call it? The RNG, the random number generator prize there, and guns down the one and only forward Italian scout. But don't worry, don't be too scared. Don't be afraid. There's still two more here for our Italian who are moving forward. And now we're in the Feudal Age. We'll take a look at Heartt's base in a second. Once we can safely do so. I have been known to miss some action in the past, and so weary am I to pivot away from action, especially high octane action like this, where again, it looks like the HPs are dropping, but this time the red spearman is dropping first, and 8, 5. It's like in Times Square. Happy New Year as the Viper kills that one spearman, which to be fair means that the Viper's scouts can run amok here a little bit. Not too sure Heartt is going to accomplish anything with these three. Let's take a look at their HP. Pretty full health, although they are getting sandwiched a little bit between these yellow scouts and spearmen, bringing even more of his units forward. Let's take a very quick look. Primary gold and extra stone to the rear of the base. Oh man, secondary gold and tertiary gold very far in the forward position, as is the primary stone, which forms part of some kind of wall off. I'm not too sure what this is. Right as I say that, of course, he continues that wall. So not a terrible location for the primary gold. A little bit of extra stone. The rest, yuck. 3 of the 5 major resources very much exposed there to the front. And what is our Turk going to do here? No one is gathering any resources of any kind. They're both sitting at 28 villagers, 7 army count. What is inside of you? A spearman. Slowly about to pop out with 7 whole HP. Okay. Heartt is being shooed away to the east, pardon me. Being shooed away to the south. Looks like his wall off is going to be a lot more extensive than the Viper's. Although for now, the bottom right of his base is completely open. Where's the Viper? Okay. The right side of his base is also completely open. So both players in the process of closing off their bases. This is annoying. This is very annoying for wall off purposes, and I'm glad for the Viper's sake that he was able to fit in a mining camp. It looks like he wanted to build one here and then decided to delete it, to relocate it somewhere better. Heartt, by the way, where the hell is the scouts? You just went home. Okay. Remember, these do come with extra pierce armor automatically. 2+1. Although I don't think there's any pierce damage of any kind that the Viper can deal right now, unless those scouts are silly enough to dive bomb under a garrison town center. And the Viper missing a bit of an opportunity to get this one red spearman. He does have a huge amount of light cav. Okay, let's see this. Currently kill count, not exactly the highest. 15.5 minutes into the game, the armies separate yet again. Are you the weaker spearman? No, you are 2 very healthy spearmen. There you go. The Viper gets another kill. The Viper gets another kill. Heartt gets another kill. And the Feudal Age dance begins. Everybody wants to close in as quickly as they can, get as much damage as they can, and then run the hell away before the counter units show up. And in this case, the big bad wolf counter unit is the spearman. Viper spearman might want to move a little bit forward. Even this one with the 7 HP that we saw. Okay, this time Heartt gets the better of the engagements, poking and prodding. Both players starting to accumulate resources. Looks like our Turk Anytime it looks like someone's going to hit the next age faster when it comes to resources, always remember when playing against the Italians that they do pay 15% less. So instead of the 800 food, 200 gold that Heart needs to go up to the next stage, the Viper only needs 680 and 170. So take a look at that. He just bought the food and he is in fact going to click up. I'm assuming once that villager finishes training or whatever the hell he was training in his town center completes, he is going to click up, and he actually clicks up about 5 seconds ahead of his opponent. A third archery range for our Italian. So this is, as I was reading the Civ intros, I was wondering, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup for our Turk. Because at least on paper, you'd like to think the Turks really only have 2 avenues, ignoring siege, which, to be fair, Turkish bombard cannons with their +2 range and artillery should never be ignored. But in terms of just mass armies, you know, you're never going to see like 30 bombard cannons. You might see 30 hussars. They really do have units on horses, let's say. So light cavalry, camels, and cavalry archers. Or they have gunpowder units. And both of those can be countered by the Italian. Either unique unit, to be fair. And one of those unique units, as I mentioned, can be trained out of a barracks. So if our Turk does go even Janissaries, he's going to be in some trouble. That being said, the Viper, okay, I was going to say it needs to complete the wall off here. This is not a civilization you want to leave yourself exposed and open to, the Turks. One thing that, you know, it took me a while. I'm gonna have a moment of honesty and a moment of introspection and truth with the audience here. When you read things like, oh, the Turks get chemistry for free, it sounds nice, right? They save the resources. You immediately think, I mean, the Italians, remember, everything is discounted, so it's not exactly the right price here. You think, oh, it's nice. They save a little bit here, a little bit there. Or they save the time needed to research it. But then you start to think, you know what? Chemistry is a prerequisite for something. Chemistry is a prerequisite for hand cannoneers, bombard cannons, which is why the last time I casted a Turk game, I really wanted to make it clear that the fact that you just get one technology free of charge, just like with the Vietnamese getting conscription, and all of a sudden their military-industrial complex is completely steroided up. It's like an injection to the butt cheek of good old-fashioned, you know, the kind of steroids that Schwarzenegger would take back before they banned them. But the fact, all of this is to say, the fact that the Turks have the scouts that become light cav, that become hussars, and they get free pierce armor on them, means that when you're playing against the Turks, you have to play as if you're playing against a Mezzo Civ and are about to get raided by eagles, which is to say, this is very, very bad for the Viper. He needs to wall this in. Whereas, take a look at the bottom of the minimap, our Turk is completely walled in. There's nothing the Viper can do. We saw the game recently, meaning yesterday, with the Vietnamese cavalry archers. You see how hard cav archers have, how hard of a time they have to bust into a base. Although right now, to be fair, the Viper, the last thing on his mind is busting into the Turkish base. He is on strict defense right now. Now, of course, all of this might be a bunch of bullshit. Might be that the Viper is going to be the one who's going to press into. So far, he's lost 4 villagers, which is not great. Heart has triple the kill count, which is not great. And our Italian is going cavalry archer, which is not great. I mean, the Italians do not get heavy cav archers, which means the Viper does not want to take this game into Imperial, at least not with this army composition. There we go. Okay, so he is going to continue walling himself in. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that villager's going to die before he can. Our Turk just now adding a second TC. But look at this. Cav archers are going to have a very difficult time busting in. Maybe through here, where they're fighting a palisade gate. Looks like another villager died. And all of this in exchange for trash. So if Heart hits Imperial, these guys automatically become hussars, automatically get +1 armor, pierce armor, which makes their raiding ability so much better, especially if you're defending with cavalry archers that attack on an 8 against their current armor of 4, which, to be fair, can be 5, and it's going to be 5 in 40 seconds. So that's, I don't know. All of that is to say the Viper needs to wall himself in. Sorry, sometimes I take a very, very circuitous route to get to my point. And that is exactly what happened right there. So Light Cav are attacking a house. Heart kind of feels like he's stalling out a little bit. Those Light Cav, why are they wasting their time on a house? I don't know. At the same time, the Viper is here with... Looks like he lost a Light Cav Archer to a Scorpion and then pushed away by a single Monk. A Monk that comes with 9 range. He's going to pivot to the left with the Monk so that this Monk can clear the path and return home with the first relic of the game. Come on, wall yourself in. This is what I say against Mesosibs. I said that already. You know, if you're playing against somebody who looks like he might be going Eagles, the last thing you want to do as you hit the Imperial Age or even late Castle is leave your base open. You just can't afford to. Otherwise, you're going to get raided up the wazoo. And right now, the Viper is down 7 villagers. So getting raided up the wazoo is not something that he wants to tell his doctor that happened to him. That being said, he is busy chasing Light Cav to the north, perhaps not realizing that he is getting chased into here to the south. And again, Light Cavalry moving in, and the Viper is just basically opening the front door and saying, welcome. Come on in, put your feet up, have a beer. Or a Turkish coffee. Make yourself at home. Chase continues over there. Knight realizing, hey, wait a second, I don't think I can take 3 of you guys on. Backs away. And for sure, our Turk is going to go Light Cavalry and Hussars, because look at the upgrades he's getting. Very rare is it to see Iron Casting if you're not going to double down on some kind of melee unit. And what are the Turks going to double down here? Maybe camels, I guess. Their camels aren't terrible. They do cost gold, though. And he seems to be spending his gold on Scorpions and Monks. Not exactly Roman Scorpions here that cost 30 gold. So let's see. Viper's moving into center position here. He's got a pretty sizable army. But it is bruised and battered, down almost 400 HP. Now down 400 HP. There are 21 of them. They attack, as we saw, on an 8 against 5 armor. So they do 3 damage each to a unit that has 80 HP. What the hell is 80 divided by 3? 27 shots needed to kill. And he's got 24. So the Viper doesn't even have enough to one-shot a single Light Cavalry. Oh, no, never mind. Here we go. Some reinforcements have arrived from the east. A Gandalf on the 3rd day. Keep your eyes to the east. I always screw that quote up. In any event, these 3 Light Cav look like they did kill something here from the Viper. This is still open. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, look, it's easy for me to sit here in my underwear after having a nice full meal. No stress. What is it? What did Snoop Dogg say? No stress, no stems, no whatever. And sit here and say, hey, oh, yeah, wall this off, buddy. It's so easy. And then you don't wall it off, and look what happens. All of a sudden, 11 dead villagers. 13 dead villagers. Oh, and now you're in the... My hands are literally raised imploringly to the sky to say, WTF, Viper. We saw this in the game with Daniel and Hera a few days ago. Although in that game, Daniel was not open for business. His front door was firmly locked. Hera busted it down with his cavalry. In this case, the Viper, maybe it's the Norwegian in him. Maybe it's the German in him that says, hey, I'm a friendly person. Why would I lock my door at night? Why would I lock my front door? Whereas it's the more North American in me that, you know, wants to buy a shotgun because, you know, guns and stuff, that says, wall yourself in. What are you doing? There's criminals. There's light cavalry units. There's a lot of people out there that want to hurt you. And that is exactly what happens. I still have one hand up in the air like a cartoon character. He took an amazing fight here. It looks like finally managed to kill some units. This guy, oh, what a way to die. What a death animation. Horse and rider both getting got as his friends run the hell away, cowards that they are. It looks like a mangonel bit the dust, but the Scorpions are still alive. So the Viper's army here not as powerful as he would like it to be. There's a bolt that is currently going through these Cav Archers as well, but I suspect it's this. I mean, he's in the wood line here. He's in the wood line here. He's gutted the farmlands here. The gold is fine, but great. Okay, you got gold. Good for you. Gold alone is not going to do anything unless you want to start training thousands of monks, and you don't even have a monastery. Our Turk has 2 relics. Viper is down 22 villagers, down 3 army counts, still has an army. Now, I know some people in the comments will be very disappointed. This seemed a very short game, but you know what? Not every game is going to last an hour and more. Some games are pretty instructional, and I think this game is incredibly. And now, like a cartoon character, I am pointing an angry finger at my monitor, and I'm saying this game is very instructional. Whenever you're facing a civilization that has any amazing raiding unit, whether it's a meso civ, whether it's a civ with light cavalry, I don't care if they're 15% discounted like the Magyars, or if they attack faster like the Bulgarians, or if they come with pierce armor like the Turks, you can't leave your base open, especially not in this high elo. So I don't know what the Viper was thinking. I thought maybe he's thinking he can apply the pressure. For the longest time in the first 20 minutes, he was the one receiving the pressure and then finally pushed out. But yeah, a bit of an oversight here. Or maybe it was part of a game plan. I don't know. I can't get into the players' heads. I, for one, am of 2 minds, as the yin-yang symbol would suggest. A little good in the bad, a little bad in the good. On the one hand, I'm very unhappy that this game lasted only 31 minutes with so many cavalry archers. Although, again, without heavy cav archers, I don't know what he was expecting to accomplish. No Parthian tactics as well. So their shelf life is not great, especially against Turkish hussars, especially if our Turk wanted to pivot into his own cavalry archers with Sipahi and go up to a 100 HP for their heavy cav archers. So on the one hand, I'm pretty upset that this game lasted so very short. On the other hand, I'm very happy that we got a lesson in walling off. You know, not every game is just 2 giant armies clashing together. That's what I love about Age of Empires. You can learn from the short games. You can learn from the long games. But I'm assuming not everybody's like me, and most people are going to be upset that we didn't get to see a huge clash between these 2 players. Although you see the length of the video, you know what you're signing up for when you click the play button. You know, 44 light cav, yeah. So Hart was all about that rating. Why the hell wouldn't he be? His opponent left the front door open. And when you do that in a bad part of town, this is a bad part of Arabia, I guess. People just show up at your house and say, hey, squatters' rights. Hey, I'm going to kill your lumberjacks. 200 for both players above 200 APM. Fantastic. Right at the end there for Hart. Of course, he was microing his heart, no pun intended, out, killing villagers in 4 different areas, protecting his army to the bottom. And the Viper, peak APM, halfway through the game at the 17-minute mark. 42 cav archers, defending well with his spearmen. So he defended well throughout the Feudal Age. But then once Castle hit, I mean, that moment where we saw the light cav move forward here, maybe the Viper should have had alarm bells ringing like, hey, where the hell's your army? Maybe an outpost or 2 for our Turk. Maybe the developers should remove the stone cost of outposts, because I feel like outposts are sorely neglected in this game. Resources basically identical. Even if you remove the relic gold, it gets even closer. Nothing to write home about. Nobody mining any stone gold for our Italian. Okay, not every day you outgold the Turk with their 20% faster gold mining. Food to our Turk, there's your light cavalry, and wood for our Italian, there is your cavalry archer. 2 conversions to 0, no raisings at all, because of course light cavalry and cavalry archers are not exactly a raising type of army. But at the end of the day, 14 kills to 1. And could the Viper have stuck around? I'm going to say a firm no. The only resource he's gathering safely is gold. Although, is this even safe? I don't even know. No, there is. Do you see just the tip of a palisade here? But he's only got gold. I guess if he wanted to pay 30% for his trading, he could, but no wood, no food means that he's going to have to buy basically his army And that is never a good position to be in. And unfortunately for the Viper, again, he just left his door open. And it's the North American in me that says, oh, you can't leave your front door open. I know there's friendly parts of the world where everyone's hi-ho, hi-hum, like Disney characters living side by side in harmony, but not on Arabia, not in a high Elo rank ladder matchup. And with that penetration, non-stop aggression and penetration from the eastern portion of the Viper's settlement, breaking in, busting in, and killing more and more villagers. I mean, the Vil kill right now is low. I think he only got eight or 7 extra villager kills, but this is just the beginning. These guys have nowhere to run. They have nowhere to run. And yeah, these guys are basically stuck inside the town center. They have also nowhere to run and are stuck mining gold. And that is just not a long-term way to hold up in this game. And so unfortunately for the Viper, even though his army looks like it did a good job here clearing up more and more units, looks like he might be going another mangonel. He does have the resources for it. He has a good amount of gold as well. Still has his 200 stone. Has not expanded economically yet. But because he hasn't expanded economically, he realizes, hey, okay, now I'm going to lose another 8, 9, 10 villagers in the blink of an eye. I'm going to have to retreat with my army because my mangonel is dead. Your scorpions are still alive. Your monks, by the way, okay, it looks like they did convert a unit somewhere here. It died. And they are regenerating their HP, their faith, 6 of them, by the way. So that's not good news for your army. And you don't even have enough to one-shot. Actually, pardon me, you do have enough to one-shot now. A light cavalry unit. And even though this is pretty darn cool, as I mentioned earlier, the Viper just runs out of steam, has to retreat with his army. His economy is being gutted at home. And Heartt, with the aggression from the first minutes of the game, pins the Viper. Luckily for him, the door was open. The gate was not shut, and Heartt goes in, kills the villagers, defends against the army, builds a counter army, holds the line at home while gutting the eco abroad, takes the W, but GG in a fun game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.